how one should look as a career? For example, some young chap is looking for a career management after his BTech or an MBA.
Fair.
Okay, he's looking at an abroad opportunity now.
No.
So amongst these three areas which you've worked with, okay, which would be your best thing to encourage his career and take his next ladders?
Fair enough. So I see it differently. If you, because you said young, just out of college.
Yes, right.
So first 6 to 8 years or 10 years, he needs to get good experience in the chosen line of his career, and from that is the one should drive his abroad opportunity as well.
Okay.
For example, if he has chosen, since I am from IT, if he is choosing something on advanced analytics or robotics, then he should find that company, and definitely Asian countries we are still not there in that kind of research and experience and usage as well. So you need to look at those kind of companies and then target for gaining. So that should drive his where he should go and land, rather than and adjusting to that culture and learning, rather than culturally getting driven for his first 6 to 8 years of experience. Okay. You should be able. The first year is going to be tough for adjusting to the culture, but the person has to adjust to the culture because he's making an investment to learn something for his long-term career.
So first year to this struggle. So let us discuss more in depth about that.
Yes.
So what kind of struggles or what kind of challenges he or she should face?
So first of all, if it's a totally different culture he is landing from where he has grown up and then where he has got his education, then he has to unlearn anything and everything he had on the cultural part of it. It could be going late to the meeting or the way he presents the idea. Sometimes there's no need to present the entire emotional gut feel that you have for the decision making. Okay. It's important that I feel like this and then say the decision. Or sometimes it's necessary to present the data for you to arrive at the decision. So those are all the nuances that the person has to start picking up. It's the way you live, the way you have, when I say mingle with the colleagues, in office or outside office, even sometimes there's no need for you to wait for your colleague to come for you to go together for lunch, which usually happens depending upon the culture that you are in.
Yes.
Sometimes you just go ahead and have it. Nobody's bothered whether you have it or not. So you need to understand that culture. Don't feel bad.
Yes.
So those are all the nuances that you have to look at for the first year to adjust. It takes time because it completely throws you off gear of what you have built in and brought up so far.
Having said that, okay, let me understand what kind of challenges Murali has faced in his initial stages.
Okay, my first visit in Germany was a rude shocker to me.
Okay, can you give some instances?
Yeah, so they don't talk much. When they talk much more about work. So they don't even ask you a personal question, how did you come to office, which is a struggle for you because everything is written in Germany, you have to find the roadmap and then come. You would like to have somebody giving a shoulder or asking you how are you and how did you come, you need any help. Those questions you cannot. So it's rude shock to me. So
okay, it's their culture that they don't ask.
Yes.
Okay.
For them it is like, probably now I'm talking about 2 decades back, probably now they have seen many cultures. But for you at that point of time, you think that they are, for them it is like not intruding into your personal life.
Okay.
That's how they see it, right? They don't, but it's your personal life. They don't want to ask you, are you married, or how many kids you have, all that. But for us, from our culture, from where we are brought up, the moment they smile, we tell the history, we ask their history also.
Yes.
So those are the shocks that you have to overcome slowly.
Okay. Any other shocker you had apart from this as an introduction, or they don't talk much? Anything else in the working related things like the mails or the communications or the working style? Basically, what I'm trying to ask is.
Yeah. So what I have seen them is when they interact among themselves, they used to use German language.
Okay.
for interaction. But when it comes to you, then the part of which where they want an answer from you will be in English.
Oh, okay.
So you will not know the entire background.
Okay.
But the question you need to answer.
Okay.
That is something that was new to me.
Okay.
I would say that. But within couple of being an IT guy, we cut and paste in Google Translate. We understand what it is, figure out what it is, and then answer it back to them.
Okay.
We never brought it up to them.
Okay.
In my 1 year of working there. So that is something that another thing that comes to my mind.
Okay.
And for you, games is cricket.
Correct.
For them, it is not.
Yeah.
For you, entertainment or leisure is going to movies.
Yes.
For them, it is outside, going for biking, long drive, camping, fishing,
Yes.
skydiving. For you, beer is like untouchable. For them, beer is available even in office to drink.
Okay.
So these are all the things that you have to start learning in the first year.
Okay. So this kind of
That is when you can settle down in that culture for making it happen.
Okay. Okay. So work-life balance is something which you have talked about in the
Correct.
things. Okay.
Correct.
So basically, Indians are known for stretching their hours and then
Definitely
giving,
is, yeah.
giving their additional thing.
Yeah.
So this behavior
Yeah.
is been exhibited. I suppose I'm asking this question as an instance.
Yeah.
Okay. So how the other
So in,
colleague
in
responds
Germany,
to-
they will think that you are unproductive. That is why you are taking so much time to do the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's straight hit. You cannot stay more than if the office ends at by 5 o'clock, 5:05 you will see the entire office not there.
Okay.
And if you stay, then they think that you are not capable of
Okay.
delivering.
Okay.
It is very high. This kind of a feeling is very high in Germany. In US, it's also there. Probably not 5:05, but by 6 you are expected to be out.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Same thing with UK as well.
Okay.
In India, you are staying like 8, 9. They'll be very happy.
Yeah. So how if this with kind of I understand the productivities are good or
Yeah.
the individual's efficiency levels are good. How performance is managed? So there may be a chance there will be a high performer, there will be a low performer. Having seen or having worked for 10 years
Yeah.
approximately,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming
Yes.
how the performance is managed in terms of this work-life balance and the efficiencies. If you look at
See, in all the appraisals, I was fortunate to undergo appraisal abroad and also appraise or do a performance appraisal for an, let's say, a UK citizen or a US citizen.
Yeah.
So they were reporting to me in the teams.
yes,
Right? Nowhere in these countries, in abroad, both Europe and US, the number of extra hours we can bring into discussion.
yeah, fine.
So which is that is not a factor of giving them a high rating.
Okay.
That is definitely not. You need to be very clear on the objective that you have set for them
Okay.
and the actions that they have taken for those objectives.
Okay.
And if you are not happy, the feedback should have been given much earlier than when you are sitting
As
for
a last
discussion.
minute surprise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Did you get a situation that someone has asked you or challenged their performance rating is undergone low than they expected there? Especially when you have done the appraisal with a person who is not belong to Indian.
In a different national,
different nation. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely yes.
So how did you deal with it?
So this happened to me when I was in Tesco, and a very old person who was reporting to me. He's at least 10 to 15 years elder to me.
Okay.
Graham Dabner, if you want the name.
Okay.
Still a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
So from when the challenge comes, so let's say for one of the objective, So you need to go to explain the difference between why you have given that rating and the rating that he's expecting.
Okay.
So that is how it was discussed. For example, if you are supposed to do, we call it a service introduction. Okay. I was working for 10 countries, right? So if you are supposed to complete one quarter, at least 2 countries, he would have been rated, let's say 4.
Okay.
But if he has done 3 countries, then he becomes 5.
Okay.
So that kind of a clarity was not, I mean, at least was there in my mind, it was there in his mind, but somehow that clash would be there. So you go and start explaining to them why the difference is there.
Okay.
The acceptance is much more when, if you give clarity on what you think, what you expect. And I have seen the same conversation happening for the Asian culture where you will have a different reaction.
Okay, true. And how the conflicts are managed in the other countries. So if I asked when you have worked with this different countries, the workman conflicts or the individual conflicts or the peer conflicts, how did you face them, or have you faced them first of all? Okay. Have you had any conflicts with any colleague or a difference of opinions? Anything which is not an agreement?
See, in UK with Tesco again, conflicts will be definitely conflicts will be there.
Yes.
In UK we have always conflicts were escalated one level above for resolution. For example, I'm serving 10 countries and then I have to balance some bandwidth, prioritize some work between 2 countries. Then the other country would raise an issue, which is a conflict which I have, which we help to clarify to them, but if it doesn't get resolved, then we go to the superior to get it resolved.
True.
So that is how it has worked in
simple and straight.
Simple and straight, yeah.
Okay. So amongst the countries which you worked, so if I ask you which country has a diversified, or they're open basically to have the diversified thoughts or diversified cultures in their work environment?
US.
US. Okay. Have you worked or have you experienced the diversified teams or diversified
views,
thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay. Any instance you quote that this has been agreed, though that diversified thoughts have arrived into your work situations?
You want examples where I felt diversified views are there?
Yeah, there is a different perspective which have come, or diversified cultures have been included in that to take that decision, or the product launch, or the thing which has come.
Yeah, see, I was talking. See, where I had the team that I had worked in US when Compact HP was together and merger was happening.
Okay.
The team had people from Asia like Pakistan and Koreans.
Okay.
Then Indians. Then we had people from Middle East region as well, Jordan and others. Then we had US team themselves working there.
Okay.
And in fact we had somebody from Europe as well.
Okay.
Interesting factors, he's a doctor, but he has changed his profession to a IT professional.
Okay.
And he was in US.
Oh, that's a really diversified.
Yes. So that team, we were close to 60-80 member team.
Okay.
So we had people from everywhere, from all parts of the world working there.
Oh.
So anything that there was definitely a diversified workforce there.
Okay.
Bringing in their own perspective for any decisions that we take.
Oh.
I even have people from China. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've said about the communication, though, in the nutshell in the introduction of these 3 countries.
Yeah.
Okay. Which communication, according to you, which country's communication, according to you, is the best? Like, they will give you a clear-cut indication, or they give you a clear-cut vision, or the communication happens absolutely to the last leg kind of thing. So, where and when you did find this?
See, communication, I would say it is dependent on the organization only.
It's an organization based. It's not in
Yeah.
culture
Yeah.
or a country based.
No, I think so, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
So why did they ask this? Germans basically, as you mentioned,
Correct.
so they are limited or they don't very vocal in their, or rather they don't
Talk
talk
much.
much.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so that's
Correct.
that's how it is.
So when,
Okay.
when I understood communication from you, Achut, was
Mhm.
from a work perspective.
Okay. Okay.
And in that work, what you need to do to deliver your work
Mm.
is the communication that I
Yeah,
am
yeah,
giving
yeah,
you.
yeah. Probably,
Right?
probably my question
Yeah.
can be retweaked. Okay.
No, that's how I understood.
Yeah.
So, which means Germans will definitely give you what you need to do the work.
Okay.
But outside that, you will not have anything.
Okay. 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 So which of the people are more socialized in this? Like more open, or it's the Dubai or the US?
US,
US.
most especially. Yeah.
So more social.
Yeah.
So you have.
See, it depends on from our perspective as well.
Hmm.
So there are two things, right? One, you also need to show that understanding of what's happening in that culture. Then you get integrated into that culture.
Yeah.
For example, if you talk about basketball, baseball, or go out with them for bowling, or go out with them for camping, then you get integrated fast enough in their culture. Or if you understand their music, they'll so when they strike something on, let's say if they're talking something on music, they're able to express one or two, and then you can talk about your music also there. But which is that openness should be there for you to getting integrated.
Right.
In spite of that, right, I still believe Germans are little away from
Yes.
for socializing.
Socializing.
Right.
Okay.
Europeans are UK. I have since they have traveled and conquered all the places.
Okay.
They're much open for having fun with you.
Okay.
In Middle East, I don't think so. That kind of socializing, even if it happens with that hierarchy and all that.
Okay. So, one critical question. So, have you ever felt that, okay, so this is not working for me, this country is not good for me, and then I want to move to my Indian origin? So, did you came across?
Yeah.
this
So the
kind of
first one, when I
situation
went to
and what
Germany, I had that feeling.
Yeah.
But that has helped me to understand how to adjust to cultures.
Okay.
So my next stint in US was I enjoyed most. UK I enjoyed most. Middle East I had explained I wanted to go back to my country, kind of a feeling.
Okay. And what made it? What kind of instances or what kind of incidents made you to think like that?
Fantastic question. Very fantastic question. If you look at Germany and Middle East, in both these countries is when we wanted to go back. I mean, I had a feeling that I should go back. Correct. Because inclusiveness that you're talking about. You are alone. In Germany, it's a different alone because they don't want to come and poke you on personal things and that stuff. That is how they see their culture, right? But from here, it's the other way around. Everybody in Middle East, it is like you're alone because everybody is keen on retaining and then having their own individual plans to happen. So you don't have any real good friend and colleague to be there. So you are left like an island, which is man being a social animal. Probably that is not there.
Okay. That's only the one that inclusiveness is only the factor which has played largely that you should come back to the.
It leads to next thing, I mean, like respect.
Okay. So interesting. So
Yeah.
What kind of respect?
So if you're not respected for your idea, for your thoughts, for what you bring to the table, that is another one thing you feel like leaving the place.
Okay. So it's leave the place or leave the country? Or sorry, leave the organization rather.
Leave the organization.
Leave the
mostly,
organization. So that's one thing which I look at. Okay. So final question or the thing. Okay. If given an option now,
Yeah.
okay, which country you would rather prefer to start your business? I'm not talking about work or other business.
See, this. If I take business, so for me, this is how I'm approaching, right? Since I've done my own startup,
Yeah.
I have an idea. I want to make money out of it. So for me, where the market exists, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, I'll be there.
Okay.
I'm not worried about culture.
Excellent.
I'm not worried about how much time it takes to break the government regulations to make it happen, or go through the government process to make it happen. But if I see my idea is going to take up shape there, and it is going to flourish there, and I make my money, I'm trying to put my efforts there.
Great. Excellent. So then, coming to the works.
Coming to the work, probably I would love to go back to US.
Yes. So I have all the reasons why you want to go to the US then.
Yeah. Yes.
So you've already mentioned in our conversation. I think it's a great conversation, Murli.
Super.
So I think you have given a lot of insights from the three different cultures, rather I say US, UK or Dubai.
East. Yeah.
And you have given already comparison with India.
Yeah.
So that makes this conversation, I think, to the largely
True.
great. Thanks for your time. Okay,
Thanks.
it's
Thanks,
pleasure. Okay, it's great talking to you.
Thanks, Achin. Just let me know how it went as well.
Sure. That
Thank you.
I'll do that. Great. Thanks.